Well, hey, it looks like Target has gone too far offering transgender clothing for kids. There's a boycott against the store going on. I want to talk about three reasons you should be a part of that. But first, let's talk about subscription. Hey, if you're visiting first time, good to see you. Thank you for being here. If you've been here a few times, I feel kind of like the guy saying, okay, if you haven't subscribed, where's this relationship going? No, that was silly. But seriously, if you like what you're hearing, you want to be a part of this community, please hit the subscribe button. I'd love to hear from you. I want to hear any ideas you've got as well about topics you'd like this podcast to cover. So, like I said, if you've visited a few times and you like the messaging, please let me know. I'd love to have you on as one of our subscribers. Okay, well, we're starting June. June is Pride Month. You're going to see Pride banners everywhere all month. Oh, you're already seeing them. I'm sure you are. Pride themed merchandise and Pride themed messages. Target, that store chain, has celebrated Pride Month for years now. They've been offering rainbow themed items and they've made no secret of their support for that ideology. And up to this point, people have pretty much tolerated that. That doesn't mean they've necessarily agreed with it, but they haven't really felt moved to protest in any way. But corruption never stays stagnant. So let me put on my preacher hat for a minute here. What Paul said is true. A little leaven leavens the whole lump, okay? When something corrupt gets a foothold, whether it's in a person or in a church or in a culture, it never stays stagnant. It always grows. There is no retaining wall for that. And this year with Target is a good example. Case in point, it's not just Gay Pride Month for adults anymore. This year, Target saw fit to offer, among other things, what they call tuck-it swimwear for boys. That is for boys who, for whatever reason, are entertaining the delusion that they are not boys. And so, to accommodate that delusion, Target has offered swimwear that literally shows them how to tuck their private parts. And basically, if they pretend they don't have their organs, then evidently that's a way of saying they don't have them. They're doing the same thing. Girls binding swimwear that basically camouflages or binds their breasts. So girls who want to pretend they don't have breasts or boys who don't want to pretend they don't have organs, Target is accommodating that delusion. Also offering LGBTQ baby wear. Okay, now this was all just too much, and not just for conservatives. This isn't just a conservative protest happening. As of last weekend, Target lost $10 billion in market value over a 10-day period. $10 billion in market value over 10 days. Stock is down, as of earlier this week, stock's down 15%. That's a 3-year low. Now, a statement is being made, and like I said, it's not just a conservative statement, it's a family statement from people across the social and the political spectrum. You got to ask yourself why. I mean, why would major corporations, and I'm going to say corporations plural, be so, seemingly stupid? Either the people at the top are very naive, which is not likely, or they wouldn't be heading up major corporations, or somehow when they crunch the numbers, this type of nonsense they think is paying off, or maybe the corporation is just so committed to this ideology that they're no longer looking at the bottom line issue. I don't know. For whatever reason, a lot of major corporations are barging ahead with pro-transgender products and promotion and ideology. And as a Christian, you object, and you should. Big question, though. Is it worth your time to boycott? I want to say yes for three particular reasons, all of which are biblically based, reasons that are social, psychological, and spiritual. The first reason, socially, yes, you should be one of those who joins in the protest by saying, I will no longer give Target my dollars. Why? You and I are citizens. We're Christians and we are citizens who live in cities and communities. We've got a social responsibility to our communities to encourage what benefits those communities. Kind of a no-brainer. Well, here's another no-brainer. There is no social benefit whatsoever in encouraging children to attempt to transition from one thing to another when such a transition is literally impossible. Now, studies show that kids who are left alone, if they initially are feeling some kind of gender confusion, if we don't slap a label on them on their own, they will probably outgrow that confusion by the time they're in their late teens. Now, if they decide as adults that they wish to continue living as though they are of the opposite sex, I would strongly agree with that, but that is their right as adults. But when the business is encouraging something destructive to kids, well, that's making a statement. And a statement needs to be made in opposition to it. That's why Paul said, Ephesians 5:11, have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. Make a statement. A boycott is an open rejection of a harmful doctrine. A boycott is an open rejection of a harmful doctrine. Self-mutilation or the delusion of becoming a sex you are not, that is harmful to kids. Now, here's what I think has been happening. People have initially been somewhat silent and passive in the face of all this, and they kind of wonder, gee, am I alone in all this? It seems kind of weird teaching boys they can be girls and girls they can be boys, but is it me or is it the culture? And finally, somebody makes a statement that says, not with my money, okay? If you're going to promote that kind of ideology to children, you're free to do it, but I'm not going to support you while you do it. And you know what happens? That statement emboldens other people to say, you know what? I'm glad you noticed. I thought the emperor was naked too. I wasn't sure if I was seeing things or if I was seeing clearly. And now I know I was seeing clearly. People are being confirmed in their thinking and they're being emboldened in their expressions. They're being confirmed in their thinking. When you take a stand against something that is destructive, you encourage and embolden other people to do the same thing. And that is good. That's a very good thing. Now, California's Governor Gavin Newsom has said that that's a very bad thing, but he's very aware of the fact that this kind of a boycott makes a statement that emboldens other people to do something similar when they're seeing a corporation embracing something destructive. He's warning people against it. He recently tweeted out, quote, "Wake up, America, this doesn't stop here." Well, for once, I hope he's right. I hope it doesn't stop here. That's a social reason, and it's a good one. The second reason is psychological. The first had to do with the benefit of your community. The second has to do with the benefit of you. Why? Because it is contradictory to believe in one thing and then invest in something that contradicts what you believe. That's pretty simple, isn't it? It's contradictory. If you believe that God created your sex when he created you, and if you believe that his choice of sex which he assigned you matters, why on earth would you invest in a company that shows so much open contempt for those beliefs and for the creator who is the center of those beliefs? Oh, contempt? Shoot, they're mocking it. Now that's double-mindedness. And what did James have to say about that? James 1:8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You and I are not wired for contradiction. Yeah, that's why lie detectors work. When you say something you don't believe, when you say something you know is not true, your body protests. There's a reaction. You know what? We're not wired for that. Now, if I were to support Target at this point by my patronage, that would be a contradiction at two very basic levels. I hope you can hear me on this. My work and my beliefs. Your work and your beliefs. My work, just like you, okay? My work, that's my labor. I pour myself into it. I do, just like you do. I mean, 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week, I'm pouring myself into what I do. And a primary result of what I do, not the only result, a primary result, that's my income. Okay. And my income is used to support the people I care about, the people I'm responsible for. It's used to support people in need through charitable causes, and it's used to support my church and organizations I believe in. I can't be casual about what I invest the fruit of my work in. And you shouldn't be either. I can't be casual about it, and I can't be contradictory about it. Now, I know I'm probably currently giving my money to businesses that or companies that support things I don't agree with. I'm not aware of it, but to an extent, that's probably true. But like James said, to him who knows to do good and does it not, it's a sin. Once I know that a company I have previously been doing business with is openly promoting something which is downright evil, oh, it's inconsistent to support what I don't believe in. and I'll be a healthier soul if I'm living a consistent life. That is a very good reason not to spend my money, a very good reason for you not to spend your money at Target. And finally, there's a spiritual principle. Spiritual principle. Um, I especially want to talk about this concept of alignment. Will you think about that when we think about spiritual principles? What you are aligning yourself with. Paul made a comment along that line to the Corinthian church, 1 Corinthians 10:21. You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. You cannot be a partaker of the Lord's table and at the table of devils. He also posed a rhetorical question to the Corinthians: what fellowship hath light with darkness? More plainly put, if you align with evil, you assist evil. If you align with evil, you assist evil. And yeah, that's a strong word, I know. But I think evil is the right word for encouraging the distortion of a child. Just walk it through, okay? You shop at Target, you give them your money, and thereby you contribute to them operating. You are contributing to them prospering. Okay? So, a little boy, for whatever reason, says to his parents, Mom, Dad, I think I'm a girl. He's heard people talk about transgender. He's seen a movie. He's listened to teachers, maybe, who knows what. And he said, I think I'm a girl. I want to be a girl. And mom and dad are a little confused. They start listening to some of the cultural influencers and they think, well, I guess we're told that we should affirm our child's gender identity and that he has the right to decide what it is. So let's buy him clothing at Target that will comply with his new identification. So they pick up some tuck clothing at Target, which sort of solidifies his identity, or I should say his non identity. He's going to pretend that he is no longer a boy. So that confirmation has happened with a little help from you. He takes that identity a few steps further as he gets a little older. Maybe he has implants. Maybe he takes hormones. Maybe he goes all the way and literally mutilates himself and then someday realizes, oh my dear God, what have I done? And then he's depressed. And then he's despairing. And then he's suicidal. You helped him get there, you know. You did. I mean, can you really say that his blood isn't on your hands if you assisted Target by continuing to give them your money when you knew what they were promoting? Okay, I don't like bandwagons. I'm uncomfortable with people who want me to jump on a bandwagon. I hope I am an independent thinker. I hope you are too. So if you tell me, Joe, join this cause, support this thing, I'm going to say, well, yeah, hold your horses. Let me check it out. Okay. Well, you should do that too. I hope you do. But this is a cause, boycotting Target. It's very easy to check out. The issues are easy to verify. The stakes are very, very high. And you know what? Okay, maybe the culture is going in the transgender direction. That's possible. I don't know. I hope it's not, but maybe it is. But the God I worship, the God I serve, the God to whom I belong, he created all people and he knew what he was doing when he created them. Now, some of those very people may be saying as of now that God is not very bright. He didn't know what he was doing. They may say that, but I'm not going to be one of them. And that's why Target is never going to see my money again. Now, do I think that the corporate heads at Target are saying, oh, boo-hoo, we won't get Joe Dallas's big bucks? No, I know that. My boycotting Target, personally, is not going to cause them to lose sleep. But I'm going to sleep better, knowing that there is no contradiction between my priorities and my investments. So there it is. If you would like to invest in this ministry, love to have you as a partner. You just go to joedallas.com/giving, joedallas.com/giving. That'll show you how you can invest in Cloudfire Ministry so we can go on bringing free content. Well, hey, it's good seeing you again. We are here every Friday. This is Christians in a Cancel Culture, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week. God bless you.